Every morning the world starts quietly. One soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing. A spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Well, it is a day, let me tell you. Did you miss me? I'm running a little bit behind my schedule. Oh boy, that's a bright one today. Okay, it's all right. Woo, hey, everybody. B-U-D-D-Y, Kathleen. Hello, good morning. I am so glad you are here this morning, of course, and others will arrive as they do every day here on Kindness Rising at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I guess it's 7:30 a.m. ish. I hate to not be reliable, but sometimes it's better late than never. Anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Jess. Hey. All right. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. This is a different episode today, but whatever, it'll be fun. It'll still be fun because we're going to talk a little bit about change and loss and grief and that kind of thing, but not in a sad, empty way. I think in a hopeful, carry the flame forward kind of way, because you can honor something after it's gone, a person, a movement, a dream, a season in your life, whatever it is. Do you hold on so tightly that you can't move forward, or do you carry forward the best of what life gave you? Welcome to Kindness Rising. I am so glad that folks are starting to jump in, get involved in the chat, say hello to the crew. Of course, Roseanne Roof is here. That's my mother. Good morning, Mom. Getting it going today. I'm wearing my Steely and my headband because that's what I'm doing. No, I'm going to have a little Grateful Dead chat today, bringing more lessons from the Grateful Dead. This is a passion of mine. Not everybody's going to love it, but I hope that even those who maybe don't know or don't love the culture, the spirit, the vibe behind the Grateful Dead and what the community is really about, I hope you can learn some lessons and maybe have some fun with it. Maybe open your mind a little. That's what I'm really, really trying to do. Open the idea and talk about my passion. Hey, it's my special interest. What can I say? That is it. So come along for the ride, because we don't just talk about the dead. We put everything in context every single day. Absolutely. And we talk about that through our Wait That Happened Today segment, which I'm going to do. But I also want to talk about how this segment has changed the way I think about history. Because when we learn in school, it feels like a collection of dates, names, and events. But the older I get, the more I realize that history really is just a collection of moments. Millions of moments happen every day. They disappear, conversation over coffee, a difficult decision, a random act of kindness. Most of those moments just fade into the background over time. But once in a while, something happens. Once in a while, you get shown the light. And also once in a while, something happens that refuses to disappear. Something so unusual, courageous, or heartbreaking, or so inspiring that decades later, we're still talking about it. Not because it was famous, but because it meant something. Those are the moments that become the stories, that become the legends, and they become the things that we carry forward. Lessons, warnings, dreams, our values, a piece of wisdom that one generation can hand to the next. And that's why we revisit history, not to live in the past or romanticize it, but and not to recreate it, obviously. We revisit the story because it carries something worth living. And that's true in our own lives too, for the people we love, the communities we belong to. Maybe that's the real purpose of memory, not preservation or transformation, right? become part of who we are and how we show up in the world. That's what shapes us. That's what travels with us. And that becomes the flame that's not ours to keep. It's the one that we are to carry forward. The chat is lighting up. Hello, everybody. Holy moly. Myra Heptikar, can you help me, please? Oh, here we go. Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Jess is trucking. Jess is trucking. I send you my Heptikar, all the blessings and grace for your father. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's do it. Let's do this thing. Yes. Golden Road to Unlimited Devotion. Oh, Sully. Sully's going deep. See that girl barefooting along? All right. I'm going to get too deady here in a second. So let's do this first. Let's do this first. Our who in the world. We've got to do a who in the world for today. Absolutely. Our mystery person, our favorite game. Who in the world? I'll give you 3 clues throughout the episode, and at the end reveal our mystery person that we're here to talk about. Remember, and I think this is a good one today. One of my all-time faves. Guys, do I say that literally every episode? That's just because I have so many interests, but I hope you'll come along with me on this fun journey about this person. And maybe clue number 1, there's probably someone out there amongst you that knows it, maybe right from clue number 1. If you know that I just gave you a clue, a stage name, it's going to be pretty obvious that it's a he in just a second. The person was born with the name Jerome Silberman. Jerome Silberman. Yes, Jerome Silberman. Absolutely was his name, and then he used a stage name. All right, that's our first clue for who's who. Let's get that out of there. We got to move along because I started late. That's okay. Change of vibe here. Change of vibe because I did talk about it a little bit. I'm trying to keep it light because this is a serious one, but it's definitely one that we, I think, will all visually for sure recognize. Let's get some music going for it. Music doesn't really match the vibe, but we'll go with it anyway. June 11th, 1963. 1963, June 11. I'm just going to put the photo up here, and I know you will know it. Most famous, probably the most famous history, one of the most famous photographs in history, definitely, I think. A Buddhist monk sat down at a busy intersection in Saigon and carried out an act of protest. It would become one of the most recognizable photographs in modern history. At the time, Buddhists in South Vietnam were protesting what they believed was discrimination and religious persecution by their government. Tensions had been escalating for months. Demonstrations were growing and appeals were being ignored. Then came the moment that the world couldn't ignore. Journalists happened to be present, and Associated Press photographer Malcolm Brown took this photograph, the photograph that was transmitted around the world and appeared on the front pages of newspapers across the globe. For many people outside Vietnam, it was the first time they had paid attention to what was really happening there. One image suddenly focused the attention of millions. JFK even remarked that no news photograph in history had generated so much tension around the world. But the lesson for me, the lesson isn't really about the act itself, as dramatic and as telling as it is. It's about the conviction, the power of one human being to focus their attention on the world of suffering. Most of us won't change history through dramatic gestures, but every day we make choices. Choices about what we stand for, what deserves our attention, our voice, and our compassion. Sometimes carrying the flame begins with refusing to look away, and sometimes it begins with having the courage to shine a light where others would rather remain in the dark. That's it. June 11th, 1963. Absolutely. Okay. So that's our wait for the moment. I just that photograph that I shared was actually a colorized version. I realized it's a cheat. It was black and white originally, which actually has its own form of emotion, but I just think the color just is really brings home. And I was reading the story about how stoic and the shock that people were in, and this idea of self-immolation is a interesting concept. Not one that I'm planning to participate in it or anything, or want to witness. But again, that conviction, that faith is pretty outstanding and astounding. All right. Got to do a spotlight. Maybe we'll make it an abbreviated one because I'm going to keep things moving along. We can come back to it, but I'm not gonna not talk about an organization that's doing good work for good people in the world. And today we're shining our light on an organization called Compassionate Friends, supporting family after a child dies. Oof. Simple, profound message, helping families navigate their losses, a child, a sibling, a loved one, in ways to continue living with purpose, connection, and hope. Grief can be a lonely experience, and when someone important to us dies, the world keeps moving. People go back to work, the routines continue, but those carrying the loss, life feels permanently changed. And that's why organizations like Compassionate Friends exist. Act to help heal, to teach that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean moving on. It means moving forward. Relationships change, the presence change, but the impact remains for sure. And the lessons remain, and the memories remain, and the love remains. And maybe that's what today's episode really is about. The people we love eventually leave us, but we become the keepers of their flame. And today we salute Compassionate Friends and everyone who helps others discover that grief and gratitude can exist in the same heart at the same time. That is for sure. That's them. All right. Thank you very much. I got a little emotional for a second there. That's why I got quiet, but it's amazing. So many people, so many organizations out there doing good work for good people, and helping people through change and grief is a big one, huge one. All right, let's move along. Man, it's an emotional whipsaw today for me. I don't know about you, but clue number 2. Here we go. Remember our guy Jerome Silberman is his birth name, and he received his first Oscar nom for playing a nervous accountant based in New York City. First Oscar nom for a nervous accountant based in New York City, a guy named Jerome Silberman. All right. There we have it. All right, what's going on? Anybody out there in the chat, come say hello. Welcome to Kindness Rising. Thank you for joining us here on Kindness Rising, where we wake up every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to help everybody get up on the right side of the bed. A little bit more high fives for humanity, a little less rage bait. Today, we're going on a little bit of a trip through loss, but it's about carrying that memory forward and carrying the flame forward. And this idea for today's episode came to me around my boys in the dead, the community of the Grateful Dead, as I start thinking about it. So let's get to my story. Okay, maybe. I don't like that music for this. Terrible choice. Terrible choice, dude. Maybe I'll go back to my psychedelic vibe for this segment. Anybody want to go psychedelic? Why not? I like it. This fits. Hey, listen, we're creating live here. That's what happens. My intention, obviously, is to take this segment right here and clip it up and put it out there for the world to see beyond live, but you're getting to see it made. That's the power of live. So let's get to it. So here's the thing, the long, strange trip, it never ends. For many of us in Gen X, summer isn't just a season, it's a feeling. A parking lot full of tie-dye, cassette tapes, road trips, friends that you only saw on tour, and this strange magic of a community that somehow appeared every summer and felt like our home. And for deadheads, this year it's carrying a little bit of extra weight. The years have suddenly taken so many of the people who built our culture. Every loss reminds us that time keeps moving. But I was thinking about today, this came to me as I was listening, and I found myself thinking about Brent's song, Blow Away. Not the song itself, but the idea behind it. The idea that love isn't something you lock away and protect. It's something you let move. You let it flow through you. It comes and it goes. Because the harder you hold on to it, the more trapped it becomes. And that's true of memories too. It's okay to miss the tours, to miss Jerry and Bobby, and okay to miss the people who aren't here anymore. But eventually we have to open the door. We got to let things leave us, move through us. Because if we spend all our energy trying to preserve a moment, we can accidentally stop living the lessons that those moments taught us. The Grateful Dead were never about standing still. They're about movement, exploration, community, discovery, a long, strange trip. Today there's music playing songs who never saw Jerry playing those songs. Fans dancing who were born years after the original band stopped touring, and somehow the spirit remains. Not because people held on to it, but because people carry it forward. That's the lesson. Real love doesn't appear when you let it go. Real love returns in new forms. New friendships, new communities, adventures, songs. The tours end and the memories fade. But the spirit keeps traveling. And that's what it means by letting it blow away. The goal is never to keep the tour alive forever, but to let the spirit of the tour change us enough that we carry it the rest of our lives. That's the story of the long, strange trip that never ends. All right. Thanks for joining. I appreciate every single one of you who comes out here every day and shares your feelings about things. Those of us who are feeling a sense of loss heading into summer, we're going to keep carrying that spirit forward. That's it. All right. Thanks for indulging me on that one, team. I appreciate you. It is, this is what it's about for me. These moments of reflection, feeling all the emotions, letting it flow. All right. Let's get back to clue number 3. Why not? Let's keep whips on. I'm going to give somebody whiplash before this day is over. I'm feeling it for sure. Who in the world clues? First clue, maybe. Jerome Silberman. Anybody got sniffing around this at all? Team, people who are out there, community? Anyone sniffing around it? Jerome Silberman, not Jerome Garcia. Jerome Silberman, who received his first Oscar nom for playing a nervous accountant based in New York City. Are we ready? Here's the last of our clues for today. I know that there's going to be lighten up with answers. Who in the world is this person who originated the role of a quirky candy maker who reminds us that imagination matters? Just don't break the rules. Oompa loompa. Doopity doo. There you go. I didn't see her. I didn't see Kathleen's answer. Gene Wilder. She did. I'm sorry. I didn't even see it. I didn't see all this. I was so busy in my world. All right, Kathleen, you and I got something to talk about with Gene Wilder. Definitely. Willy Wonky. Yes, Mom, Willy Wonky. It is wonky. Willy Wonka is absolutely, it's, He was in a ton of movies. Gene Wilder. I love Gene Wilder, not just his comic acting. If you ever watch his, just him, the clips of him interacting with human beings, just a clever comedic genius for sure. So we did the reveal a little earlier, but I would quickly just what made Gene Wilder to me special wasn't just he was funny. I mean, come on. This is my shooting hand. What made Gene Wilder special wasn't that he was just funny. It was underneath the humor was always some form of humanity, along with Mel Brooks, of course, who will shed light and comedic light on some of the problems that we have in the world. But Gene Wilder always had humanity, wonder, and warmth, from Willy Wonka to the Waco Kid to his movies with Richard Pryor. That's right. We're bad. All those movies. Kindness wasn't just something he played on screen, though, of course. Those of you probably remember that his wife died of ovarian cancer, the famous comedian Gilda Radner from Saturday Night Live. And he devoted years of his life to raising awareness about cancer education and support. He lived for like 30 years after she died and just continued to establish charities. Gilda's Club, a community organization that provides emotional support for people living with cancer. And rather than allowing grief to close his heart, he found a way to transform his loss into service. And that's the lesson of Gene Wilder today, connected to our theme. Willy Wonky. Oh, please. I wasn't even going to start talking about Young Frankenstein because I only have 6 minutes left in the episode. Sedative. Oh my God, so funny. So funny. I could quote those movies all day long. And it was just always something. It was just so genuine. And the other story that I love about Gene Wilder, just as we wind up, we're talking about the Willy Wonka story. Have you guys ever heard or read about the making of that movie? It's pretty famous. I guess it's pretty famous. I've seen it. It shows up all the time for me. Stories about how Gene Wilder wouldn't let Peter Ostrom, who played Charlie Bucket and Uncle Joe or Grandpa Joe, I forget the actor's name, see him in the office when they show up and looking to claim their prize. He wouldn't let them see him in his position. And he came, that anger that he shared, he talks about it actually, and he had hyped himself up for that moment, thinking about some personal things and some other stuff that was going on in his life in order to get into that moment. You get nothing. That scene, that's pretty amazing to read about his process and what happened to create that emotional moment on set. Random Willy Wonka trivia. It's the kind of stuff that happens here on Kindness Rising in our community with Kathleen and Roseanne and Jess and Sully and the whole crew at the Mornings in the Lab network for sure. All right. Before we go, I got to give you the compass, right? We do our compass every day. It's important to me that we move from thought to action. Today was a little heavy and up and down and all over the place, but I want you to think about this. The 5 ways to carry the flame forward. If today's episode has you thinking about something you've lost or something meaningful that's ended, here are 5 ways to carry the flame forward. Tell their story. Share a memory about someone who shaped your life. Their memory lives through you. Teach what they taught you. Pass along the lesson, the tradition, the recipe, the value. I know we're doing it a lot in our house these days. I love every minute of it as my kids come back into our home, right? And my mother's back in the community. We're talking about those things, sharing skills, tradition, recipes, all those things. Reach out is another lesson. Reconnect with someone who was an important chapter in your life. Reconnect with that memory. Of course, you will. Build off of what those people taught you. Continue a tradition, even if you're the only one keeping it alive. Even if you're the only one, you never know what it'll spark eventually. Keep your traditions alive. And lastly, ask the better question. Instead of asking, why did it end? Ask, what can I carry forward? Those are your 5 ways to carry the flame. Well, this has been a great day. I appreciate everyone that has come out. As always, can't say it enough about what we're building here at Mornings in the Lab, what Kindness Rising means to me as I head towards my 1-year anniversary of coming here live every weekday morning. Thinking about it again last night, so this is a little teaser. I'm going to do a little campaign, a little review of my year, the lessons I've learned, the milestones along the way, the feelings, the whatever it's been. Maybe you might see your name featured in that campaign. Those of you who stuck around for a while, because each and every one of you has had some form of impact on me, believe it or not, if you do, because that's what community is about. I'm giving you something, you're giving me something, we're having some fun. It's good times. Good times here on Kindness Rising, as always. All right. So as we wind down on this day before I come back again tomorrow. There we go. All right. We're going to head on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends here. Everyone, get over there at 8 o'clock. But let's finish this. Let's remember that today was about remembering. Remember to stay open to wonder, even after life breaks your heart. That's the thread that connected today's story. A monk, a comedian, a community of musicians and fans. Each one reminds us that what matters most doesn't disappear when the person is gone or when the season or the tour ends, a chapter closes. The lesson isn't also to cling tighter. It's to carry it forward, to keep the flame yours, to pass it along, to let it blow away and come right back to you. That's what letting go and carrying the flame are all about. Thanks for spending your morning with me. Come on back tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here at Kindness Rising on the Mornings in the Lab Network. And until tomorrow, stay uncommon and stay kind.